Preview. This could be our year. We're going to go all the way. Other cliche crap. FA Cup time, guys. We're playing Sheffield United. How important is this trophy to Louis van Gaal? How much should we judge him on his ability to win it? Does it matter at all? Or is this a needless distraction from the Premier League and the pursuit of that all-important third place? Ugh. Go on, Gaz. Carry on making some noises with your mouth.
It's just depressing, isn't it? That, like you said then, to be honest, it's becoming kind of obvious that we're probably not going to win the league this season. I've sort of given up any hope of us winning the league. But I think that it's sort of, I think we're going to get top four, to be honest. I think we'll easily get top four. And third place is probably what we're looking at. So I'd go for the FA Cup. I think that, it depends how he approaches the Europa League. But if it was me in charge, thank God it's not. But if it was me, I'd just play all the kids in the Europa League. I'd rather us win the FA Cup. Sounds daft to some people, but it's been so long since we've won it. I was about, I don't know how old I was, about 9 when we last won the FA Cup. So
wasn't it, against Millwall?
Yeah, so it's about time we won that trophy again.
Goals from Ronaldo and Ruud van Nistelrooy scored 2. One was a penalty. So that's knowledge. Howson, go on.
I would love us to win the FA Cup. A day out at Wembley, a bit of silverware, open top bus. Probably wouldn't happen given what we've won in recent years. But I think you've got to go for every competition you're in. And I say that I'm about to contradict myself because I don't care about the Europa League. The players are coming out and making all the right noises about it because that's what they have to do. The players can't come out and go, yeah, I'd rather just off on a Thursday night, if I'm honest. They can't do that. They have to say, yeah, we're going to give it our all and this, that, and the other. De Gea's been in the press today saying that we're going to try and win it. We've never won it before, so we want to really go for it. But the FA Cup, that actually does mean something to United fans. Mm-hmm. The Europa League doesn't. I would if we're going to prioritise one over the other, it's got to be the FA Cup, but not at the cost of making sure we hit that top 3 in the league.
Okay, Adam, how important do you think winning this kind of trophy is to Louis van Gaal?
Well, I think Louis van Gaal winning a trophy this season would have to be seen as a success because of the position he finds himself in at the turn of the year with his future in, not maybe in doubt amongst the club, but in doubt amongst the fans. So winning a trophy for him would be absolutely massive. In terms of the FA Cup, it's a trophy that I love myself. We haven't won it in a long time. I think 2004, wasn't it? As you said, against Millwall. So it's been a while since we actually won it. We've got a home tie. You always want a home tie, so you'd expect us to go through. Although Sheffield United are a good cup side. They've shown that in the Capital One Cup recently, or whatever it's called these days. So it's not a guarantee that we'll go through, but obviously you want to take this cup seriously. And I think, although the Europa League wouldn't be the top of my list, if we won the Europa League, I imagine it'd feel like when you win the Carling Cup, Capital One Cup, whatever it is, you're happy, but you're not arsed. You'll celebrate it at the whistle, and that's it, really. But I think the Europa League could be important in the development of some of our younger players. You look at the likes of Andreas Pereira, who needs to be coming on and getting minutes at the moment, who would do wonders with some minutes in the Europa League, because the teams that are in that competition aren't too shabby. I know people disrespect it a lot, and that's probably because of the times that you have to play. Thursday and Sunday is never ideal, but I think the competition in the Europa League is pretty good, and to give some of our youngsters a run out in there, mix it with the senior players, I think it'd be good for them.
I think you're probably right. So let's talk about the transfer window that's open. What I'd like to hear from all of you is what you would like to happen, and then the more depressing, what you expect to happen. Gaz, you can go first.
Oh yeah, ideal scenario. You go out there and sign, this sort of fast-paced winger that we're after. Sounds a bit like FIFA, but that's genuinely what we're after. Mm-hmm. So a player like Felipe Anderson seems like he ticks all the boxes. Not like I've seen him play anywhere near enough, but hearing people who know a lot more than me describe him, it seems like he'd be a decent addition to our squad, definitely what we need. Mm-hmm. And then also, it'll be perfect for us to bag a striker as well. I mean, the two that I would love us to sign because they just tick every single box. Young, Premier League experience, already proved themselves in this league, are Lukaku and Harry Kane, or obviously either or. So if we were to get either of them two, and Felipe Anderson, then that would be perfect. But that's obviously not going to happen. I think that a winger's possible, and I think that'll be it as soon as we get one of them. Maybe even some sort of bang average fullback as well, just to play his backup for when Luke Shaw comes back.
Weird. You didn't even mention Bale or Neymar.
Oh, no.
How's that possible?
Almost as if it's never going to happen.
It is. Howson.
I agree with guys that I'd love to see someone like Lukaku come in, and I agree that we need a tricky, pacey winger. Not because we need that trickery and that pace. We kind of need the pace, but we need an actual winger that we can play on the wing. Juan Mata, as much as we love him, he ain't a winger. He needs to be played centrally. And Martial, he's very effective coming in from the left, but I'd prefer us to play him up front. I'd prefer him, in all honesty, to be played in a two-striker system and see how that goes down.
Yeah.
What I expect to happen is that we'll probably sign some mid-table Premier League, one of the best players from one of the mid-table teams. So I think Mane probably ticks the box. There's a lot of speculation about him at the moment. I think there's a bit of speculation for Felipe Anderson. It's probably for good reason. He does tick several of the boxes. I have seen him play a little bit, but like guys, I've not seen him play anywhere near enough to be able to give a concrete opinion on him. But from what I have seen, he does tick the boxes that he's going to be direct and he's going to run at people. And that's something that we need, a player that can do that and put the ball into the box. Now, I know that we need a striker, and I did mention Lukaku, or people think we need a striker. I'd like to see Lukaku, but I don't think that you're going to see us sign another big money centre forward when we've still got Wayne Rooney at the club, when we've just spent so much on Martial. Even though they're the only two first-team strikers, I don't think you'll get another first-teamer. You might get a second-tier striker coming in. Who that would be, I don't know. But I agree again with Gaz that you probably need a full-back, maybe someone that can play left and right, just as backup, because we are so short, really. Well, we're not really short. We're just short because of all the injuries.
Exactly.
There's a young Brazilian right back at Lyon who looks quite tidy.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
What about
Rafael?
really? Is that
Rafael, I think you
Oh,
pronounce.
Rafael.
what about Varela? Do you know what I mean? Why not give these guys a chance? I don't want to see us go out and spend, 5-6 million on. I know probably get criticised in the comments and say we bought Vidic around this time and Evra for the similar fees, but I wouldn't want to see us go out and buy a bang average fullback when we've got people like Varela at the club who have already shown that they can, give decent performances for the team. So although we do need to strengthen at the back, that's without doubt. But I wouldn't like to see us buy a player that we wouldn't normally sign, if you know what I mean. In terms of strikers, Louis van Gaal's been talking about how he trusts his players and he's happy with Rooney and Martial. He likes keeping the two strikers because without the competition, they're not under as much pressure, and he hopes that will reflect in their performances and them scoring goals. So, as the lads have said, if we get someone like Mane, if we get someone like that Anderson, then that allows Martial to be freed up and play more centrally, and then it probably solves two problems in that sense. But I don't see us making any huge signings. The players that we would want are probably at clubs that are challenging already, probably playing Champions League football, and aren't going to move at this time in the season.
I think Mane would be a great buy. Another person that would be quite good. Anybody else think it would be beneficial for everybody concerned if we brought Januzaj back?
I don't know, because I don't think we're sort of in agreement that we need someone who's a bit more tricky and someone who's a bit more pacey. I don't think Januzaj is a fast winger at all.
Well, no,
I don't think
it doesn't.
Isn't that a winger?
It doesn't.
Yeah, he's
it
not a
doesn't
winger.
tick that box. That's not what I mean. But I mean, at the moment, we've got a talented attacking midfielder. Not necessarily exactly what we need, but he's one that we already own, and he's on loan at a club where he isn't playing any football. So
Yeah, well,
wouldn't it
I
be
think
better if he was at United?
when you
But the
think
pro-
about it in that sense, yeah, definitely.
But if you're looking at, okay, if we buy a winger, Juan Mata is going to play centrally. I don't think it's fair to play Januzaj out wide. I don't think it reflects well in his performances, and I kind of feel sorry for him in the sense that I remember when Chris Smalling used to play right back, and everyone
yeah.
used
He
to
got
know
slated,
he was.
didn't he? It'd be like he's a
Everyone used to
centre-back,
know
come
he
on.
was crap at right back, and he used to play there, play poorly, and get slated for it. And I used to feel sorry for him because it was obvious he wasn't a right back. Januzaj, he does well at times on the wing, but he needs to be centrally for me. And although
Januzaj's best game was his coming out party at Sunderland a couple of years ago, and he played centrally, and he must have had 8 or 9 shots on top of the goal that he got, or the goals that he got. He was absolutely phenomenal that game, and that was because he was played in the middle, and that was under Moyes, obviously, but he's not a winger. He's wearing a number 11, and people assume that he's going to be taking Giggs' mantle, but he is nothing like that sort of player. He's more like he's just like a central attacking midfielder. He's
That's
like a
what he
number
is.
10, a shadow striker.
the problem for us is, it's a nice problem. We've got Januzaj and we've got Pereira, who I feel are going to have to battle for that one spot in the long term. It's a great problem to have. And I think the problem for Januzaj is Pereira is potentially so good.
But at the moment, what's happening is in that position, that central attacking position, with 20 minutes to go, we bring on Fellaini.
Oh yeah,
I'd much rather see Januzaj jogging on the pitch to try and
much rather see
create
Pereira
something.
jogging on the pitch.
I'd rather see you jogging on the pitch, Gaz. Right, let's move on and talk about the teams that will play against Sheffield United. Howson, what starting 11 would you play if you were in charge?
I've gone for the one I think Louis would play rather than the one I would play. I would play the likes of... Well, you're going to mess it up now because I'm going to do it right off the cuff. I would play Varela. I would like to see McNair at centre-half, maybe alongside Smalling, rather than having a completely weak defence. I think Chris Smalling is taken on this role as a bit of a leader. Let's see him be a leader on the pitch and bring through some of the youth. Left-back, we're in mega limited options, so probably Damian, maybe Young. I would go with the midfield in the middle because I think it's a confidence booster this week. I think we shouldn't take it lightly. We shouldn't risk playing a very weakened side and losing, because that's just going to put what fragile little confidence we've already got completely out the window. So we need to go and put a big statement, 2-3, 4-0 win if possible. Forward 4. I don't know what's going on with Jesse Lingard at the moment, whether he's injured or whether he's likely to be in contention. If he is, I would play him. If not, I would like to go pretty strong with Mata, Rooney and Memphis across the attacking 3, and I would play Marshall up front, and I would try and get him a couple of goals under his belt, because it'll do him wonders.
I'd like that. That'd be nice. Gaz, what would you do?
I'd play the exact same team as we just have done. I mean, we're off the back of a win, and I'm not being funny, but we're in a situation, like Stephen says, where the confidence of the team is probably still quite low, and you can't risk losing a game like this. Normally, I'd like to see youngsters getting a game against Sheffield United at home, but I think that a lot of this comes down to the fact that I don't trust Louis van Gaal to win enough to play youngsters. So I'd play our strongest team, play the team that won the last game.
Adam, how important do you think the balance is between youth and experience in this game? Because I might be wrong here, but I can't think of the last time we played a lower league team and put out a young team and it went well. I'm thinking of when we scraped past Yeovil, we got battered by MK Dons, we went out to Middlesbrough. It's been a while since we played a lowly team and got a good victory.
They weren't really young squad.
No, that's what I'm saying. But when we played these kind of level teams recently, regardless of the squad, we haven't performed. So I think in those situations, if we played a team of the majority of our under 21 players, maybe our key players, that we would have performed better because they're more hungrier in those situations. But saying that at the same time, this game coming up, I don't think we should make a whole load of changes. But I think we could afford to make 2 or 3 key changes to some. We've got Newcastle away on the Tuesday. We've got Liverpool away after that. 2 big games away in the league against 2. Although Newcastle aren't playing that well, 2 of the most difficult away grounds in the league. So we do need to rest some players. That said, I'd probably rest Mikey Smalling, Schweinsteiger maybe. Yep. And you can still bring in someone like Michael Carrick for Schweinsteiger. You're not, playing a young team. But I definitely want to see Pereira start. Pereira, Rooney, Memphis up top. Rest Martial for midweek so that he's raring to go. We're running.
We don't rotate though, mate. That's the problem.
I know, but mate, that's just me.
Okay, guys, let's talk about our opposition. Sheffield United, or as Wikipedia informs me, the Blades, or the Red and White Wizards, or the Red and White Army. If you didn't know, they were founded on the 22nd of March 1889. Their capacity at Bramall Lane is 32,702, and their chairman is the very likeable Kevin McCabe. They're 5th in League One. They're managed by Nigel Atkins. Let's keep in mind they have won the FA Cup 4 times. They've been in the final a couple of times, and they were in the semi-final as recently as 2014.
4 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a good cup team.
I'll tell you when. They won the FA Cup in 1899, 1902, 1915 and 1925. And
None of them count.
They were beaten finalists in 1901 and 1936.
No, that don't count.
Semi-finalists in 93, 98, 2003,
Lads, they were a Premier League team not too long ago, boys. Come on, man. It's Sheffield United.
I know they're a big
I see
team.
someone else knows how to use the Wikipedia.
4 times a lot, innit?
Well, it is a lot. We've won it 11.
We need to watch out for Billy Sharp anyway, boys.
Yeah, he's their number 10. Someone else has been Wikipediaing. Right, Howson, score prediction.
2-1.
2-1 to the Manchester United.
To the Manchester United Reds.
Gary.
1-0, 90th minute, Fellaini winner.
Good God, this is depressing.
Off the bench.
Adam.
3-0 Manchester United.
Hey, that's more like it. I'll go 4-0. Why the hell not? I'm never right. Let us know what you think. Get in the comments below. If you know anything at all about Sheffield United, maybe let us know. It would be helpful. I don't know. See you later.